This video is the second in two about the wildflowers I encountered on the coast of Attica in Greece last year. The first one, when it was watched by Dr. Mark Spencer, he told me there were a lot of botanical clangers, and there may be a few in this. The wildflowers of the Rocks of Piraeus. So this video is my second looking at Greek wildflowers, and it features the wildflowers on the Rocks of Piraeus. And as is the case, I went looking for wildflowers and didn't take my bird camera, and I found some very interesting birds. And also there's a little bit of silliness from my friend Paul McGinley, a long-term drinking pal of mine from Greenwich, because there's a lot of Malcolms on the Rocks of Piraeus. And God knows where the Malcolms came from. But with a name like that, they had to come from Scotland. As I said, it's going to feature this wonderful bit of limestone outcrop. And there's not the same species diversity as there is down at Cape Zunio, but there's plenty of Malcolms. Now, Malcolms are a type of pink little flower which are all over the place in Greece. But you know, I've not yet been to the Burren, and I one day want to go, because I think the Burren is an inspiration for green roofs, because you get these little areas where the rock and soil is collected, and that's where the wildflowers are. It's a bit like the slick gardens that Peter Corn does. And really, as I've said before, it's very like what John Little does, because we're using aggregates, low nutrients, which create these really interesting florally, oh, there's a cat, florally wildflower rich habitats. I mean, this is in a city, and you know, I can imagine the roofs of Piraeus being covered in similar wildflowers to these. I tell you, nearly every nook and cranny's got a Malcolm in it. Every single bloody one. Scotsmen everywhere. They're taking over the coastline of Greece. The Malcolms. Ah, I'm a Scotsman, there's a gap, I'll fill it. Bloody Malcolms everywhere. Obviously not wearing kilts, because it's too bloody hot in Greece to be wearing kilts. I actually think the Greeks used to wear kilts centuries ago. I blame Malcolm. A little bit of white mignonette. Well, you can't always rely upon your iPhone, because that little yellow plant is telling me it's a sedum, and it's definitely a clover. Finally, the iPhone has got it right, probably because I took a really crap picture last time, but it's Trigonella, which I suspect is some kind of tiny family of vetches. And it's very, very pretty, and there's carpets of it. It's everywhere. But not as much as Malcolm's about. Very similar to bird's foot trefoil, but a different kind of flower head. Let's have a little look. There you go. The flower head's drooping. I bet the pollinators really like that one. So here in Piraeus, there is actually some succulents. I remember what they call it, ice plant. This is an invasive one. And it's found all over the Levant coast and all over Mediterranean. It's all found up the west coast of California. I've seen it. It's actually from South Africa, and people put it in their gardens and it gets out. So we've had some ice plant, which obviously is invasive, but I actually have discovered some succulents, some more succulents, which I suspect are native, and these are sedums. And there's nothing wrong with a few sedum species mixed in with all the wildflowers, you know. But just sedums is lame. So down there, you know, you can see these sedums along the edge, which is kind of what happens on a green roof. That, you know, you mix sedums with the wildflowers, and sedum album and sedum acragare, you know, eventually take over the edges of the green roof, because that's where it's most stressed. There's the Greek flag. Now, just like at Cape Zunio, there's plenty of goat's beard. This goat's beard just happens not to be in flower. Just for the technical minded of you, goat's beard is also called salsify, but I just like goat's beard because it sounds really vernacular. I'm a bit of a vernacular sort of person, you know. As it came to the end, I noticed a lady collecting chamomile. I just took it for granted that there was chamomile down there, but you might have been interested in that, and certainly that lady was interested in the chamomile because she's off to make some chamomile tea. So it gets a bit scrubby here where obviously there's bigger cracks in the rocks so that there's more water storage and the roots can get deeper down. It's what in a green reef world we'd call sort of semi-intensive. But you notice also there's some invasive species here. Not only ice plant, a bit of cactus. And as Malcolm would say, get ye back to Arizona. Stop polluting the Greek coast, you Yankee Doodle cacti. Dixie cacti, whichever the right term is. If you know what the right term is, just put it in the comments. Hey Malcomia, get ye back to the Highlands. I'm not feeling Malcolm was one of those clans that wasn't quite right. So, get ye back to Morningside, Malcolm. Oh, well, I've come to the end of my walk along the limestone coastline of Piraeus port, and you know, it's just a great, my goodness me, there's loads of Audubon shearwaters. Better do a video of those. Right, I got distracted not by Audubon shearwater but Yelkian shearwater. Now, there's a little story behind this distraction because I read in a birdwatching guide online that you could see Audubon shearwaters, and I thought, oh, they must have changed the name again. Because when I was here 40 years ago, it's called Manx shearwater, and obviously changed the name to Yelkian, and I thought, well, they must have changed it to Audubon's, and I didn't check, but I've just checked on Google, and Audubon's is not found in the Mediterranean, so they are Yelkian. That's good to see somebody else interested in the wildflowers. There's a gentleman down there with a dog photographing poppies. For the birdwatchers amongst you, a Rupaul's warbler singing in a bush on the limestone pavement, and here's a picture of one I took in Tel Aviv a few years ago. Fantastic birds. But you know, back to the point of the video, or what the video is about, is, you know, if you want inspiration for green roofs wherever you are, come to somewhere like this, where it's dry, low in nutrients. Check out the wildflowers and put those on your green roofs. So, any Scotsman watching this other than Paul McGinley, I do apologise. I like to have a bit of stupid fun every now and then, you know, and Malcolm is Malcomia. I'm Malcomia. Malcolm, come here to Greece. We like you. And I certainly like you. Thanks for watching, and if you've got any comments, or if you disagree with what I say, or agree, or would like to add to what I say, please add them below. And there's some links to some other videos which are about collecting seeds or about natural habitats and green roofs in the bump below. Now I'm off to have a beer. In Dagsi, Eflaisto, Calispera.